This is Fadima. Don't come to again with another edition of Social Media Review. First of all, I want to apologize to Una for what we start late these days. Una know saying a fast month this, and we get people the way they fast among we, so get forget give them time for perform their duty where the religion asks them for do. So we want to say thank you to God for life. Thank you to God for another day. Thank you for we were there alive. We know say the world in a pandemic right now, coronavirus, don't put everybody one place. Waiting all the plan the what will be make. The plan they all don't scatter right now, all don't go. Everybody they go now to the will of God. Everybody go now within at the mercy of God. We get people there among we don't die of this coronavirus in America as well as Freetown. We Sierra Leone brothers and sisters them. They don't die, they don't beg some. We get some right now within our hospital where they fight for their life. I get a sister, a best friend that is in the hospital just fighting any day, for in life right now, this coronavirus. All she was guilty of now for go work, for go help people them and instead go catch the virus. As usual, I get with me Professor Kutubu, where can always be my co-host. Follow we talk on issues that waiting they happen at the social media review. And also today, I woke up to a bad news. One of my cousin in Afrobe in Pekin died this morning. And we go talk on that, we go rub Motonam, the late Honorable Sherifu Kero. We will talk on that a little bit later. But today we can't talk but things the way they happen at the social media. We all be no yeri, the president not they talk. We all be no yeri, we don't say the president not they talk, but the presidents come and talk and they make a speech. In the beginning of the speech, some people were happy, but towards the end of the speech, like the number 6 thing the way it talk about, where it talk about the terrorism. So we ask the question today, na terrorism or na lawlessness? And we'll get a video we'll go show now where Dr. Prince Adin, when I am the chairman and leader for SLPP, earlier before the president gave his speech, he go to the police station at Tombo, they explain to how it happened, it's saying a lawlessness. Later on, as the video they go, it reach out that side where it shows side and born. Now I say this is not a lawlessness, this is not terrorism. So what's in the meaning of terrorism? And would you say that act was an act of terrorism or lawlessness? Now the question we want put before Tona today. And also, we get for talk on some audio them. Miko Kutubu put an audio out last Thursday, and then I think on Friday or Saturday, they talk say President Bio no for meet with people them, foreign people them, neither waiting do Dr. Yumkela for go make peace for them when they don't need peace and all that. And it's something that I disagree with him. We don't talk about that. And I tell and say, let we bring and come to the table, let we discuss them. Because when something happens, we see ourselves on one side, the other person then at the opposite side, we all get different views, we all get different way, we all get different interpretation of things. So I want to understand, Professor, what to do it we not forget go get help because but we go deal with that discussion they will come to her. So I want to bring her in late tell una I do. Then I go tell una small about the coronavirus since I go up much about coronavirus. Then we go to another issue too on the death of this young man. Waiting happened before we can hear this morning say he died. Because we get people them where they put audios they out there where sometimes, I go reach there, I go talk about that too I reach there. And I even call Attila this morning, and I go call him name because I call him, he tell me, say, maybe not lecture him. In get other thing them for do, he will talk to me later. So I not get no other choice, but I get for talk on that day. Because there's a dangerous video audio going out there where we they put out there, and we're not 100% sure of what will they do, but yes, we they put her out there and put people in life, people in family in jeopardy. We don't hear boku other video them. We get a responsibility as citizens for be careful what we they do and what we they talk and how we they talk, because sometimes we can go if the matches we go just make the blaze go up, nobody know able to control them, and now we all go losses because anytime we come for war, anytime we come for faith, every life we lost matter. Every Sierra Leonean life matter. No matter if you are the poorest or you're in the ghetto or if you are a youth, if you are a dog, if you are whatever, every life matter. That is the God-given right. God give everybody that right today. So now we bring Professor in, let Professor tell you now Adu. Then we go come back, we'll talk on this small corona, we'll talk small on the corona. Then we go to the next the big question we'll get for us. So Professor sir, that bring you in. May you say
thank you very much for the opening segment. We found the all for VOS Television. We're glad we don't come back tonight. So hope say we now go join me. Then we carry out the discussions. We pertinent to waiting the happen to the country. So thank you and back to you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. Well, according to the Ministry of Information at Salone, as of a couple of hours ago, maybe 5-6 hours ago, because then go to sleep now in African, they said 307 cases of corona and 18 people they don't die as of date. 18 people don't die. Coronavirus now, virus right now, we don't get medicine. Like I said earlier, I get a best friend, a sister, when me in the talk 2-3 times for the day. About 5 days ago, then tell them say, no, they don't tell them say get the coronavirus, it tests positive like a week ago. But 5 days ago, you know, it get pneumonia, and able to breathe, then get for Ocean hospital. But we tell God thank you at least, you know, then put oxygen pan and they not put it in the respirating machine. But if they keep you in hospital now America, that means say you're really sick. So we pray God for them. Because when he touch you, when he close to you, then I get another friend in New York where himself in be then at the respiratory machine, where he don't come out of the machine now, it is struggle for land, for do bokutine again, because they talk of this respiratory machine, the danger where they cause power people in life. And I mean, you know, and I know say Professor, you said one up much small. So what do you mean they say for this coronavirus? Let we listen to the one that we sabi. Let we do what we can do, which is washing our hands regularly, which is where you want sneeze, you sneeze now you hand or a tissue. You practice social distancing. Some people they argue say the mask not important, the mask important, but me I they wear the mask. Especially when they go outside, boku people and some people go come and he sneeze, some people go talk. So me they protect myself and I advise people them when we wear mask. Especially Sierra Leone, we need the mask because we get congestion, we get all that kind of stuff there where they go on. And I will show now a video later on of honorable late honorable Sheriff Ukeru in video. When you see the crowd, you know, they broke the social distancing rule, but they gathered because they feel say they for honor them, they for gain last respect, because somebody decided for go say it get talk, they get click, it get this, you know, we will talk about that and they will come to them. But the social distancing part was very, you know, kind of scary. But the people did not think about that. Then go out there, then go give the last respect to them brother and then comrade. So la bring on to you Kutubu. I don't know what you get for ad, but this social distancing and this coronavirus business and waiting you want add to the people and waiting they go on where you know where you want to tell we sir.
Thank you again. Well, like you say, the authorities don't do all the guidelines as to what to do, especially in the context of personal hygiene, right? For really make sure say they're up, at par with that. And also, like you say, social distancing also, it will greatly help. Although, it seems forget somewhere the social distancing also get the social problem, especially in homes and marital homes. So the fundamental question what if more, God forbid, this year not implicate, how are these homes? How are they going to keep up with this? I mean, any forbearance, any understanding? I mean, people, who therefore understand, they will finally give up the sensuous gratification of the mind. Let them give them up for ensuring safety. I mean, that common sense will occur to them. That a fundamental question that we will grasp with. And then also, we need to talk again, why solid evidence not come yet, but I have been called Salone form, especially that also people don't begin to go the other way. Say we Salone people, anything we get for make money out of them. Meaning that people then inflate the numbers, and they inflate the numbers. So I think you have no more as now this, their numbers so they kind of just they go up, and even way not to reality, because somebody will come and say a doctor in the work, and somehow down the road, in border was never part of this TSU. Now, in border, they live far apart. Then tell the doctor, government, they say, no, not take place. But this man way, if you know the observe all the protocols there, so suddenly now they say the man get the thing, then even though they say no, not to so. So the hope is we don't go back to the Ebola days where people inflate figures just to make money because they're paying them people a very serious amount of money. I hope say they will get Allah in Takwa. Then if you say actually this sort of money making time is not, nothing way a concern. The job that for say that of course there's one people they make money, but not to anyhow, not make money now anyhow, falsify figures, raise things and just for that they make money. And but finally on this, my hope is God will make the mercy on this. And let we continue to observe the protocols that we did not put in place, especially this mask. We Salinas, I think a good number of not believe in NCMD, but we have to do it because you go and you don't know who that get what, you don't know who that you go get something they bring in the house. So no, just continue for pray and continue for spread. We're lucky enough for them at social media. Now continue for spreading messages. We are very important. Then protocols and the way they put in place, we are not the observer, especially that mask business is very important. No chance. So with that, I want to hand it back to you again.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor. Thank you. Unalo we try for do, and then we left the rest to God with all in at the mercy of God. Because we know say beaucoup people that we don't make plan 2020, but God and the master, God and I they do what he want do when he want for do him. And but let we go now to the president in speech. Beaucoup pa unado year, but we're not going to play the president's speech because I get a video of Dr. Prince Harding, one we watch, we listen, it will take maybe, 9-10 minutes. But let we listen to let we hear what he say. Because in the president's speech, I go read them because I get the waiting in call Naya. And the number 6 is say one expects in a democracy. Their actions are carefully planned, coordinated, well orchestrated, and executed acts of violent terrorism targeting the state officials, public buildings, and private persons and properties. Like terrorists elsewhere, they even recorded their acts with telephone cameras, run violating commentaries on their acts of extreme violence and killing, and share those in the WhatsApp forums. So it say then they do like terrorists them. What is a terrorist? Professor, we don't tell you what is a terrorist. Terrorists are where you act political, where you go against the government, where you fight against the government. Where Professor, if you could help me out, which be you
yeah, well actually which I decided for yeah, I decided here for double check. Let me read directly as it is.
Yes, read them please.
Terrorist, a person who uses unlawful violence and intimidation, especially against civilians, in the pursuit of political aims. That either a tourist or terrorist, depending on
political aims.
Yes, we can give a number of examples them for support.
What is political aim?
You know, yes.
So my question is, when people in a tumble, when they can't watch the video where the policeman explain what happened, then we'll go here read Prince Adin and respond. Then people in a tumble, were they politically, was it political, or was it because of the one go fishing? So now play the video and not talk it. Now the question that they ask, was it political act for be terrorists? Was it a political act? And we know say when terrorists then do things, we they all over the world. When terrorists then go bomb some side, then they come out and say we are responsible. That is a political, forget the government attention, forget whoever they defer the attention, for intimidate the government, for waiting and call. But was that those incidents where the one Tombo, the one Lonsar, the one waiting and call, is it just bunch of people them where just take their own action into their own hands because of frustration, because of what they call, or was it politically motivated? Was it political? Are there political people who grab up and rebel? That is the question that I want to ask the people of Sierra Leone. Because let we play the video, let we show where Prince Adin go visit, Dr. Prince Adin, go visit the people, the policeman, and we go take a tour of the place where they're born. Let me listen, please.
The social distance is the observer and the WAF. And the WAF and the market don't troop. Call them, the guy will call me to warn them. Then prior to that, the first day for the lockdown, before the 2 days lockdown, we get a release from the radio and another from the press. They say we know the observer social distance. But people them within that time, until they undermine the camp. Within that time, they get them Bluetooth, then phone them, wait if they listen to Anima or Anima Monkey, before put a release a one grade, but then they get a crowd them, and they and that them they develop, yes, inciting people then. Then what think out it now, after the lockdown, we remember for more, advise them to get more police presence than the one. for later no, let observe the social distancing. But to greater surprise, early morning, getting to 7, midday there, the member for camp, we were close. The policeman they called me say, civilian they don't can't we say let them come on at the station. They want to board the police station. He say over 500 of them. But before they can at police station, they get me to use me to run or else incitement, use form where they get from the WAP. They say people will tell them say, now just tell me for Guyana official, they're not going to take that. But then they come first at the police station, then they come Monday. Because then they go for arrest, they come there. Far they come. So the policeman advised them. I say, you all know God, just consider yourself. You want to protect the ammunition room. I call the military, Major Salone, if you want to come to it, I call the LEC, I call the regional commander, I even call IG. So the responsible, but within that time, what they can reinforce with, accident will not run off the personnel. Accident happened. Follow for the Motkaya celebration on the council, he died. One that will get severe injury, but they respond to treatment. So the reinforcement local policeman then they go for take some of the ammunition, advise them one if they are on the police go concealer. So they do that. Yeah, so they can do everything with here. Inside my office, me batch cap and not get cap self. Batch cap there.
So they don't get ammunition. I mean,
Papa, these people are
25%
of this community, when over 50,000 people who are the police, they are ex-combatants, 25%.
Yes, I know.
Yes, they get this AK, officer with that AK, they cut him out. Yeah. When they fire the AK, they get that Beretta sound. When they get the Beretta, up yes, sir. So they get them. I want to send the fire.
So they get weapon.
They get some. So then they say, because government don't tell we say 3 days lockdown, one time for police, they say they want more lockdown, so we just declare coffee. Yes, sir.
So this is not pure lawlessness.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Until the plan, premeditated
versus governance. So these are people with they get motive not to strike. They attack democracy. Yes. They attack the livelihood of the people, and of course they undermine peace and security of the nation. They try to send the wrong signal to the international people and investors, and even the national investors for many not invest in this country. Yes. Because that then will create more jobs, whether jobs to pay. Yes. By so doing, the government will get bad name. It's not subversive action. It's not just about fighting for livelihood.
And they get the sites and they get out and they try for let them penetrate. You can't. Who get standby police over 5,000? Yes. Now what do they try? You know they go challenge the law. You know they challenge the government. You can't do that.
Because the attack was selective.
Yes.
Yeah, very selective.
Immediately when this part
SLPP hosting.
Yes, sir.
This hosting at glass. And then the stone here. Yes, sir. Stop for each other. Yes, sir. But so like selective. Attack them.
Before that, sir, with respect, sir. And who will call them? We say if they talk about say Tombo, we know they comply with the social distance aspect of the lockdown. They will not go on radio. I call the major. I say Major Salone. I don't call them people. Let them talk to the community people. Then they can on radio. As they come on the radio, that big man, they cause this papa and mama.
We then at the radio.
Yeah, I mean,
we then at the radio for sensitize people. Are they by they cost me mama say
and you know who that?
Me na SLPP strongholder.
No, yes, stakeholder. And one thing you know the constituency waiting.
Chairman, constituency chairman, and district secretary general.
So you host the attack and they.
Yeah, they are them. They
attack the women's chairman. They attack. I got this one. All SLPP family with them.
Yeah. Chairman don't.
They attack everything.
Yes, sir.
So this. Now SPC inspired violence. Okay then. So
the one aspect, sir.
They will get
they get recorded, but they go out forget them. When they say Tomo, they go be the that
they start now. So I say I got the audio.
So before they begin, not well prepared.
Okay, now they don't war, now they don't end it. But we don't know what in our war. We don't know what in our war. We have suffered by this war. We don't try to done the war. As SFP, we don't done them. Now we don't come as SFP for governance. The day 11 years, we not create anything at all. We not create no problem. We got the power through the ballot box.
Yeah.
And but if you say they want war, we know nobody they touch with war. Nobody ever touch with war. But we're not interested in war. What you know will stop? The law will take in course. I will give my own opinion where necessary. Because at the end of the day, now the government, now they maintain law and order. Exactly. So if they are targeting us as SFPP, there is a different version of event. And the number one law in life, natural law, is to defend your life and property before government they come. Not sit down, they cut your throat, they talk say, and wait for government. No, it's to organize yourself, to defend yourself until the law comes in. So I tell you, thanks for the bravery on exercise. We left now with the investigative teams to find out who said lapses the day and what we will learn from this. But I talk to everybody. Let them not underestimate the SFPP. May not underestimate the leadership of this government. And we are sure they say that the law will prevail now. They want the war, let the war aside, but we will not allow war in this country anymore. And we are ready for anybody who say you will bring problem, they will not go back. We will govern using the laws, and we will react with proportionate force to ensure that people they live around for their livelihood. And they also take this opportunity to talk about this COVID. We're not 2 war deep away. COVID-19 war, we will not see the enemy. Now they don't bring lawlessness, but with the attempt to destabilize the nation and put the government out of power. So we are ready for them. To advise everybody say, don't keep the laws and keep the distance. Don't want to try to cover with a mouth. I know see when they get to go down there, not cover with a mouth, wherever in a public place. Make sure say when I wash on a hand as much as possible. Then not put on a hand and a mouth and the eyes, especially if you know what's up. But more so that fear. Now I want to make people get.
Okay, another year, we they push the video a little bit because now then they can't take a tip, go around beside them. I want to push the video so like 19 minutes. I want let we begin that side there. We then reach Usai and born. We then show Usai one building where the fire go. Let me go to that part of the place.
Areas of the health center specialized for diseases like communicable diseases and of course also for TB. So this is not really about lawlessness. Because if you can burn down facilities that are meant for the well-being of the citizens, they have gone beyond lawlessness. This is terrorism. Terrorism, destroying the social fabric and the infrastructure of development, being a poor country like ours. And this is the place where pregnant women come to deliver and be taken care of. And now they have destroyed, they have burned the place. That's the CHO. Okay then, so it's all right. That's the woman concerned. So this is lawlessness, more terrorism. Send the wrong message to the international world that we are not stable and we have not learned from our mistakes. And therefore, this is not a place to do business. But I tell these people that have got it wrong this government is resolved, headed by Julius Maada Bio, you hear from him, perhaps today. You get the message. And you are going to see the actions that we are going to take. And I believe this will not happen. Those who are sending these boys, they are going to be visited. They are going to be invited to give account of what they are doing.
Exactly, sir.
If they have governed this country for 10 good years, 11 good years, we did not disturb them. And we will remove them by the ballot box. But now they have decided that we have got no right to rule this country. And they want to leave this country in reins, so that we'll all be looking as refugees all over the world. It will not happen.
Yes,
God will not accept it.
Thank you, sir.
People will be surprised what HE is coming out with very soon. And I assure the peaceful people, especially the SAPP members, just continue to be within the law. The law is going to protect you. The law is going to protect you. That's all I can say. I've come here really to see. From here, I'm going directly to Lonsha to see the similar thing that happened. But I wanted to do a similar thing in Godrich a few days ago to Femitona, where an Escomas building, they gathered just because of a small problem with the driver. They want escalator may become like this, but the intervention of the forces, they don't agree. They do investigation. They are going to do investigation. Whoever is found culpable on the government side, on the ragamuffin side, they are going to gather them, and they will pay for it. So we will continue for they stay together. When the law one go out, we will continue for support the security forces. And of course, I can always say that the number one law in nature is for protect yourself and your property and family. Why is waiting for the law? Not when I see the slapping, no. The law will come as a reinforcement, but you say self. Protect yourself and your family. Now the law down there, now the unwritten law. Now before now they will come. So that message should go out, both for peaceful citizens, both for the SAPP people, where they don't target one now, we don't see one now they don't target. So it will be a shock to them. Like the normal will talk to them. Yeah, we have to keep cool, and of course, let us pray for this sickness. May it done. Although you don't come out, so they remember sickness. The power, they want power. We don't die. What do you do with power? Let us solve this sickness. Let's put this camp. We say we go play. Man, we know we serve. Dog know in company in man, you know say they go smell. They know say this dog here and a man. No so? Yes, none of politics. We know we serve. We don't dance this dance. Let us wait for the time. Let us ring bell. They will know whether SAPP in a woman party or not this party. SAPP in a both woman and man party. Not the one sex better. So I tell you now, madam. Okay, now I can mechanic section.
We want for late talk. We want for Lona Yeri. Don't talk that part today. Now then they go show back the other side them. But this is exactly what in the president talk. And this video happened before the president, the same day when the president making speech. This video happened earlier than the president making speech in a net. And most of what he say, it's like verbatim now the president's speech. So is it the idea, who's I come off from that terrorist word? Now we question that, no, they try to find out, we don't know. Because if we hear Dr. Prince Adin in the afternoon, he say, all what he say, well, we all know hear together. Then in the evening, President Bio used the word, say we not terrorists, and we don't hear the definition of terrorism. And the definition of terrorism are for political reasons. So we don't hear what the man and the policeman say. Then people then, because of social distancing, they be waiting a call. Then later on, they begin gather for listening to Adebayo in tape, you know, and blah 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 blah. And then the people then go off by them. Professor, la pass on to you. You know, yeah, because you know one of the people them way on social media you say President we all get right for say that what they because terrorism, you know, it get right because the thugs then they do then destructive thing then they. So I want because I want to understand because you know say me and you get some conversation. We cannot see everything the same. We get different eyes, different perspective, different way they look at things. And there's a video we've been show. There was a ball in the middle, half of an a black, half of an a white. The person we see they to me opposite end, they see the white side. Me where they over here, they see the black side. And now they argue you say na the black side that they see, but yet you they tell me say no, na white. Until I come to you side, then I go understand and see. So I want to understand, you know, people inside them because everybody gets in your own way where they think. But in the end, we get for compromise, for try for understand one another and see what they come because that is the way forward for let peace reign in our country. So Professor, la pass on to you, sir. Then you help me out.
Again, thank you. The president used word, he said it's a terrorism or a talk of terrorists. And go as they explain, and they go back to the paper, and they go back, and then will be the basis for the explanation.
Right.
And the examples then we I will give for help buttress the argument. A terrorist, not just a one terrorist, a person who uses unlawful violence and intimidation, especially against civilians, in the pursuit of political aims. So now this now we look at the president, I believe, say in a considered judgment and candid opinion, based on this definition also, strongly believe say people in the use violence for achieve their aims. You get five parts of terrorism, 5 aspects of it. So he decide for use this one, and when I use a settle on. Now I give examples who will support me. I believe so. The only thing, the examples the way I give, some of them involve number of people them. So now one person no more undertaker. But all it was, you know, unlawful action the way he do for carrying out a political agenda, unlawful action. We can start off with, I don't know if you hear of the Unibomber. You may not ever hear about the Unibomber. Not so? He used an intellectual exercise, the Unibomber, for carry out that thing we just defined, but in the context of politics, that the Unibomber they do. When they go to Timothy McVeigh, I should say, you hear about Timothy McVeigh, that him alone carry out unlawful, I call Ayanda, to get the whole define now, for making political statements.
Okay.
By which he do now the Afrepi Memorial Building in Oklahoma. We also see the branch divider that called, you know, now Waco, Texas. Of course, you know that.
Yeah.
So you are aware of
that Davidian, that's why Timothy McVeigh, they look and say that branch Davidian where the government go inside and kill Boku people inside there. So Timothy McVeigh use than they say now in statements than they say because of all them picking them when they kill Yanda instead of go attack a government building. Yeah, and yeah, no.
Very good.
1991.
So I can go on and on and on and on. Then you look at the international part of it. We see the 9/11 hijackers them with a weapon. When they fly with a weapon and cause massive destruction to, government infrastructure. We see them. We see open in New York, what happened at Pennsylvania, what happened at Washington by way of the Pentagon, and all that. We see all that. All this stuff for express political opinions. So they decide for use violence, violent, unlawful, because like we say, unlawful for carry out that. Now, not say the argument go home. You can go home. People they go na Lausanne, now the paramount chief in place. They cause a lot of violence. They use illegal means, for carry out whatever the agenda. I'm not in a position for talk about the agenda because they know explain about what I can talk about. They use going back to the word now by God power. They use unlawful violence and intimidation. Unlawful.
But was it political though? Was it political? Because that is there. The key word is political. Was it political? Because the stuff that was going on in Lonsar that I heard, they said that they go carry 5G, then they go carry 5G pole then at a place. And they say the chief don't go take money because rumors can go, people can put, and we know say, for this 5G, even all over the world, even in America, people were demonstrating and acting out. We see video that where people then they say they're not going to put 5G in the area. But because of the misunderstanding of 5G, which is just another way for we communication in the telephone and whatever go at, but because they don't understand what it be, the people them go on to riot and they escalate and go into the part where they go burn the chief in house, which is wrong for committing violence, waiting and call. But not to give excuse, but the reason, was it politically driven? That is the question. Was it politically driven, or was it a bunch of people thinking in their head, they're trying to defend the rights and properties of the area, then go attack the chief? It was wrong to attack the chief. It was wrong, but was it politically motivated, or was it just people?
Here's how I will come in that question. Sometimes it's not all the time say what you do, you get political overtones of that. Well, although yes, in most cases you get political overtones. What you mean go do now? I mean go sit down there. We make certain assumptions, say waiting and do now if it was politically driven. Me go make that certain assumption. But what you mean you go agree on and how would they talk to you? Still go to the paper. They use unlawful means, uses unlawful violence and intimidation. And remember, even the politics so they say especially. So remember, there's that caveat. So that, yes, in most cases, especially for me, a political article, but he also uses violence and illegal, whatever it is, for carrying out some other enterprises. So what you want, we don't get too bogged down or waiting at people they do, because me and you will not go take a definite position, say they do for political.
No, we don't go take definite positions, but because we're not gonna take definite position because we're not there inside their mind waiting and they do. But the word terrorist say we people them because they do this or they do that, they are terrorists. That is the word that is troubling to a lot of people. Say, it is the wrong choice of words. And then we see a video after the president don't talk. We see one of the area people, one of the people then where they call Honorable Abu, go and address people them, now a group or now an area, it go make the comment say, we go shoot you now, we go kill you now. Then we go after, then we go broke some of our food. Then we go after our parents and buy, because now they born bastard picking them. Honorable. Okay. So that's why I say the choice of words, because some people will misinterpret, maybe, we use another language. because sometimes the language, because then now, just like how Donald Trump can use something where Donald Trump come, it started that racism, it started that xenophobic, it started that those people come here and they're doing XYZ. And then we see this uprising of things that we feel say we don't die in America, like racism and all that kind of thing. And we see people and then when they call of worship, we see a cult person go kill them because they're not good enough, they're black. We see that they attack Mexicans. We see that they attack certain group of people then, because some of the words, then they incite and embolden some people. Because I believe, say, because President Biosé, we go hit and we go hit hard. So in don't go interpret and now, if anything be happening, they say don't give orders for let them shoot to kill, and or then block them, foot them, then go lock them up, then go after them parents. What do you think about that statement there? Because President Bio, I'm glad it don't suspend her. Because that is danger. That is the match where with a clutch, where everybody they eat inside the fire, where go ablaze, where nobody not go able for waiting and column. What do you think, sir?
Okay, thank you. Now, what we do with the broaden the discussion, so with the widening the scope.
Yeah.
So that way we go look at everything from in Genesis to in Revelation. First, we get to look at the mindset that's Salone. Yesterday or Friday, I used the word. You send me a quiet note, say no, not use that word. That's okay. So out of great respect for you, I will know the word. But this time I did change the word this time around.
Okay.
And whatever happens, I will defend them.
Mm-hmm.
And because of Usai Sadio not finding himself, and I go on for talk say a majority of the citizens in them, they fall between them the pool where they really fundamentally they're lacking in cognitive intelligence for being able to rationalize things them into context in perspective properly. Mm-hmm. In other words, they act on emotions. But then the matter is being exacerbated by we politicians mm-hmm. where they use and abuse, mindset, and we on Salone, everything I want me you go with this. Tonight I would say everything in Salone is done within the lenses of politics. I want to hold on fast to this.
Yes. That
everything inside Salone, nobody no prepare for step back and say, wait a minute, this year na white paper against so now. About that paper then na green, na solid green and they done in a SLPP paper. Okay. The person now will actually take them for look that paper there, or that you make another ask. I can wear a red clothes now. As I wear clothes, almost intuitively mean an APC. Mm-hmm. Okay. The man not see me to although within there many a time accuse we of we that this party belong to that party. But remember the people not come sit down with we and just for figure out we ideological leanings. We not sit down or hold discussions with them. But merely by we explaining things and now say how they not put it. This now the collective tragedy this way before Salone, where everything is done in political lenses, and so in the process, you're the way use the word matches, you're the way no more somebody in the correct market. So in chemistry, that they call it, they on the powder keg, we can explode at any time. Mm-hmm. Now, we go back to the Loshan incident. I don't go back before come to the minister.
Okay.
The people that like I say, me and you actually they don't even talk to me. So we don't know what they go do. We don't know what they but what we know that when they go back to this paper say they use unlawful violence and intimidation. The only thing we me and you know will come conclude whether That's in there for political reasons or economic reasons or any other reasons. So which one will not unbox yourself, let we not take a definitive position as to waiting at the reason for that until either if they do investigation and you find out. But at least where you go agree on the fact that they use unlawful violence and intimidation for achieving a goal.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, man. So with that, now we go back to the president. The president, like I say, and I must tell you, I will admit now, and if you say you can bring me video, me audio, fine. The president, correct by using the word, me they stand on that, so correct by using calling it terrorism, like a terrorist act. I stand by him, and based on this definition, except you get a counter definition. If you come up with a counter definition, fine, so we'll see how we'll meet yourself together. But as long as we stand on this premise, unlawful violence and intimidation, now they be the whole lot.
I go ask the technical team if they go pull the word up for me. Waiting up.
When we can ask them, let them find out if they get.
Yes, I let them put them up so people can go see what they talk about.
Yeah, well, if you want to let them find out, not let them look for, waiting at that.
Yes.
The terrorists or terrorism, let them look for another.
So you say it was the right word to use because
yes,
you
I stand on that. Yes.
Hold on to the unlawful violence or the or intimidation.
Yes.
Now that makes me support President Bio. But my question now is it political? Because the definition where you read,
yes,
the definition where you read say political.
Yes, the whole definition political. Yes,
we read Dr. Prince Adin.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Prince Adin say lawlessness. When they explain to him everything, he said it was lawlessness. Mm-hmm. Then he go later, he say again it was terrorism. This lawlessness, not terrorism.
Okay.
So he used that word, terrorism. Then few hours later, the president used the same word, terrorism. So me and most people, their own problem with the choice of words,
mm-hmm.
It might be, kind of a little bit too extreme for use terrorism. Because we understanding of terrorists as somebody where they go after the government because they don't like the stand where the government take, or they don't like the thing where the government take, then go attack people there where they work for the government, then go attack building there where they work for the government, then go attack the government. Now me understand, say, that person there, you go put another category of terrorism. Because there was a time, once upon a time, in America, also with this, so people were fighting for what them believe saying that they got human rights. Okay? And we really say the Tombo people them, they want for go fish for get what they eat, now fisherman then did it. And where you they get fisherman, where they can go, it must get people out there and push the boat to go inside. They must get that. So the law say not forget that because then they try for make the spread, for cut down on the spread of coronavirus. So whatever happened later, they say then get that and they listen to one of the guys then at the social media in audio. Now that's making them can attack them. I don't know waiting for Usai for believe, because Bokutin they gone through my mind. And I mean, sometimes some things, until I get the right word for say, I go left and forth, let dog die, dream, left nine belly. Okay. Not that I'm afraid, but I don't want to say the wrong word or say the wrong thing where I go be misinterpreted or people go think otherwise. We are all, America had them fight for human rights, then protest. You get Martin Luther King, he was the peaceful one. Then you get Malcolm X, he was an eye for an eye one. So let's pass back to you. I'm not sure you want to inside for this.
Thank you. The problem, I think, today, they host some academic lectures in there, even as you look at the problem about the English language, the English word, is very elastic. It will be elastic. Sometimes you can use, you get what you call synonyms. Anything. One word you can use, you can take out from Waterloo, you can't go to heaven in the stretcher.
Yes.
Pursue the circumstance. So in the delegation we go na Tumbo or whatever, I go talk to Mr. Inside Dr. Presiding in a conjecture. He will be very right in it because we hear what he talk na the other how he try for put the jigsaw together. He don't put it all together. Now he don't take this report to the president, the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, the man will swear for defend and uphold the constitution of the country. You don't look up. And one part, one of the requirements of holding the constitution, where they call it, the security, well-being of the nation, the well-being of the nation, also that part of the remit of the president or a president, a remit, he followed a remit. Now, like I say, look, we go. Look, let me take another typical case again, where you know you go to okay, we be able a case way up in Virginia, where some people they take motorcar and they go like right, you know, over people them now. Somewhere in Virginia, they say it. That also an act of terrorism. That. Because they could say they go back to the article. You see, that
but they're not being called on that. They're not being called on that.
Okay, they may not have called that.
Terrorism. You can say vandalism or you can say unlawful, what's in a call, but it is not. I mean, you know, you can go vandalize something where you don't get no right for go vandalize. Vandalize in the building, you cannot do that.
But they say,
you cannot take that anger out. That is wrong.
Yeah, okay, they say unlawful violence.
The community where you destroy your community. So that may not make sense for you go burn your building. That may not make sense for you go burn inside. But some people, that is the language they speak.
Okay.
That is the language they speak. Some people take out their frustration or their anger in the wrong way. Now then you truth down there to them. Now then your way, what thing we get for do for help them, may they not do them kind thing then they.
So we'll get to that. We'll get to
have a lot of, like how you say, I said, you know, use that word the other day because we had the conversation. And because we have a lot of children to youth to middle age now that have been left behind. And some of the language this way that they do and the things that they do, we not go ever do them. Because that is not me cup of tea. But to them, that is the language that they speak. And a lot of them, you know, I would not say they are illiterate. Because illiteracy, at least they sabi read and write something. Some of them are victims of society. Some of them are victims of the neglect of our leaders, past and present, that they have not done things to keep them occupied. President Bill came with human capital. He said we get for invest in human capital. What have they done, or what has the past government done for keep them people here occupied, for keep them let them able to produce, let them become better citizens of tomorrow?
Okay.
You know? So they speak a different language.
Okay.
So for us to understand the language, we get down of we high horses, of we educated horses, and go down to them. Let we understand what in them they talk about, what in them plight, what in them pain, and what in them condition.
Good.
That is the peace. If peace for reign, those are the things our leaders then get for think and say, why are these people doing this? Or why are these people following politicians? Or why are these people going every time where they say they run for come and for can destroy and cause damage? Both sides, we both agree, say, both sides is responsible for these bad behaviors and these misbehaviors and this vandalism and all that stuff that goes on.
Okay, that's good.
I agree to that.
But so I seem for take exception to the word peace now to mean a misnomer in the scheme of things there. I want to let peace out of this.
Okay.
as you put the the gist out together. Waiting I we actually stress on the threshold. I want we embrace what we call law and order, or the rule of law, or how they do things. For example, even our homes Saudi, let's make a very dramatic. We get don'ts which we're supposed to do in a house, we all have them, and which we're not supposed to do in a house. We get even though not written somewhere, but we get certain things that you simply not go do in a house because think that they aid the advancement of the place. I'm working on everybody. We get it on that side. So you inject an element inside here where say the attitude of benign neglect on the part of the politicians, and these are across the board. Across the board, it's not to any one particular bodies. The youth say, and like me, you agree on the fact, say, and the youth them of the era, these now we resources, these are the future generation, the future leaders them. But the fundamental question we'll get for yourself, how these politicians they actually sit down, they rationalize the fact, say, the youth say, wait now, where they are neglected, then they look them at as cans, they just use them, misuse them, dump them, they only need them during electioneering time. They can't take them, use them anyhow. Then after the elections, they dump them. I think this is the area, this now way we now way God make we fortunately done for day that this we need for stress out. What to want to now want the politics out of this now, not take the politics out of it. We say, wait a minute, these politicians them actually not so good people. They are here misusing, abusing, and dumping. For example, waiting and they use a way doctrine all day when they go to the party office. All day when they say, okay, this place is so nobody will pass there. Now we own places. You they talk about a thoroughfare for everybody, street for everybody, but when I don't go past that because I not belong to this party. Or more even take the other guys and look at the mayor office day and looks at the own party office day. I mean, kind of thing they way look a bit intimidated. That's even when we can happen to the mayor. We in an act of terrorism that day, we keep it that way. Because if we go back to this definition, like we told you stuff, a person who uses unlawful violence and intimidation, unlawful violence and intimidation. You see, this when you fasting for the against government,
yes.
Now when they say especially, now that normally the condition that especially, but when they therefore say, only restricted to government, even to between me and you, we ordinary people say, you can perpetuate a terrorist against me also as a person. Yes, mostly yes, that the government facilities, agencies, and anything they can attack, mostly like the 9/11 which happened, the Timothy McVeigh business, for vent out to anger next year. So which I don't allow child we serve just as well because they not attack a government facility and not saying that. No, even if you come for them, you cause unlawful violence and intimidation, that act of terrorism that you don't perpetrate against we also. So I think so whether that will be labeled this, what you need now for how to address the issue. Now that we need for President Bio on now, or all the politicians, okay, President Bio, you don't make all this prior statement there, you don't make all this there. Where do we go from here? What's the way forward? I think that now we actually need for spend time on, which is where because we cannot spend time talking about the problems. Because this is where the climate of blame comes in, blaming this politician there, blaming this that. So we they take the middle. Where do we go from here? Now that we go all through, we can look at back to you.
Like how you rightfully say, we get for find the solution, but we got to forget the right choice of word if we want for find solution. Because me believe in words. Words have power. Words have life. Words are interpreted by different people in different ways. My experiences of life go make I interpret a word by the way you say unto me, go make I either do right or do wrong. But the end of the choice is the individual. We all get for look we self in the mirror. We get for collectively look at ourselves in the mirror. What are we doing wrong? We get for do self-inspection, because there's a lot of finger pointing. There's a lot of nobody is accepting their own side. Say, yes, we don't make a mistake. Yes, we wrong. Yes, we don't do bad. But how do we? Yes, everybody is pointing not to me fault, and that person they fault. And until in psychology, when you want for go na AA and Alcohol Anonymous, when you're ready for heal, the first thing you have to do is say, my name is Fadima Savage, and I am an alcoholic. You get for accept before you begin heal. You get for accept before change they come. You get for accept before you can able beat alcoholism. And because you make up your mind, with that acceptance come a lot of responsibility. Say, I am. So the first problem, you don't go the first level, say, yes, I don't make a mistake. But with politicians, them, from government person to now, they are pointing fingers at one another. It is that one them fault. We go deal with them. We go show say that we then a power. We go make so now we turn for it. And that is the thing. It is a recycling back and forth for the longest time. We make we deal like how we did so. We make we picking them with young men and women them. They're out there struggling for daily. Not to all them, but they're waiting on streets and talks. Some are homeless. But if you go in the mornings, if you go to Freetown, whether APC youth, SLPP youth, some of them are out there doing work. First of all, when they grow up, na Fulaman, then they do work. Now you see young them. They're muscle with muscles and everything, because when you carry those loads all day, you're going to be built. Then they carry, then they make that their markets area, and then they touch people, they load them. Some of them, they go Brookstone all day. But they don't have love. They don't have no social stuff for them that is built for try for encourage them. I told you all when I went to Freetown, I'm going to remand prison. And the hope for these kids, nobody is giving them hope. You get some AFAP organization, they can go there. But nobody is giving them hope. And these boys are going to be lost. Then they become a statistic. Then they become a statistic to society. They are becoming a burden to society. And we just say breed them and breed them and breed them. If we don't do something, we're going to try for help them. We all been on talk before. Then we get institute them get trade center where picking and they go land war. I remember one mommy tell me long time ago. He said me boy picking, one of me boy picking, they not be able to go school. They not like school. I don't see say they don't like school. Now I go to one power when a plumber. Now I go get and they say, Papa land for me plumber. The person is in America right now doing plumbing. Because in mama identifying problem, there was somewhere that he could go where he go learn something, where they go able for be waiting a call. And how do we get for put them program the in place for them people the day. And like I said, this is the remnants of the war. This is the smoke that was left behind by the rebels, where then go and take over with people and take over the minds of countrymen and women them for the longest time. There were not much rehabilitation. The PTSD, the trauma is there. So these boys, some of them don't have no hope. Some of them don't have hope. And then we label them as this, as that. We label. We as human beings, we label. And in our labeling, we are all guilty of that one time or another. And some of them feel that they're useless. Oh, well, ain't nothing going to change. Like they say in America here, we are black people, there ain't nothing going to change. Because the struggle continues unabated. So I do it here and I don't even care. Then say we get called, then let's take the call of them. Then what done, we go to the other one, sir. Let's take the call of them. Good evening, caller. Professor, take the caller, please.
Good evening, caller. Welcome to the show tonight. Who's the call from and what's your name, please?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Hello?
Yes, you're online. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, how you do, Mr. Kutubu?
Thank God.
Yeah, This appears they call from Lokomasama. How na they do?
Well, we take our thinking.
Yeah. Una the struggle for define the word terrorist and lawlessness. You understand? Let Fadima listen carefully. Fadima lives in the United States. If you remember, the words in which George Bush used against Osama bin Laden, Gaddafi, Abu Musa, al-Baghdadi, them people are all, George Bush no one they see that they terrorize nobody. When somebody incites something will happen, then they label you as a terrorist. You understand? So for label people as terrorists because of their acts, Ms. Fadima, watch this carefully. Them bomb hospital, not tumbo, not terrorism act. It doesn't mean say they go on political aims, not terrorist act. They destroy a police station, not terrorist act. You know why? Now they see how terrorists they do, what they label them for big terrorists. Now they see how they do straight. So you know mean say where the government label as terrorists, government can label you as anyhow they label. George Bush label country they say actors of evil, Libya, Iraq, Iran. You want to tell me say actors of evil country they are there, but what you are making case, he label them, he give them that name they say that actors of evil. So you see the government, they can label you for let them calm you down or for the caution. APC fail for condemn all their actors. They're supposed to make a press release, condemn them TRC. It's wrong. They're not for one. They're not one. They know they condemn people with the inside violence, like the guy within a Holland. Nobody no make a press release. So if governments come on, then label them people as in a terrorist, then born Usna Lusha, then born Mutka. Now they tear RAF do, they label them as terrorists. Now they tear to move people and youth do, then for label as terrorists. Then born police station, they make this. So now law company word terrorists. Terrorism is a word way originated during the French Revolution in the 18th century. Then they try the word terrorist, it don't mean say pass on political aims. When you terrorize unarmed civilians, and the word can become popular during the IRA war, now England, between Irish and England, then the Palestine, then even United States, they label people as terrorists. I will give one example. If you name Muhammad in the United States, you shoot somebody now, America, they label you as a terrorist. If you name John, you're a white man, you shoot somebody now, they say, hey, a white man, you get great problem. If you're a black American, you shoot somebody, they say they're on drugs. Maybe you know they're on drugs. So government can label people and for weakening them. Then political parties are all for come together, make a press release, condemn all their actors. Governments know so government they come for label them. They need for label them. When they tell them, when they calm down. I feel so bad when I see that hospital. And they tell you now, I feel so bad. The hospital, the police station, that paramount chief in place. That's not right. People are true citizens, they're not for do anything. Maybe they label them, then are terrorists. It doesn't mean nothing. Terrorists in our law.
Okay. Time to Professor.
Thank you. Thank you very much, my brother. Our next caller, who said the call from me? What's your name, please?
Okay. Hello, viewers.
Background, we echo.
Okay, viewers. Me the call from Germany. Yeah, me na June. I want to get small time because I don't listen to the program where we try to analyze this terrorism. You know, if we want to check really this first waiting the president talk first, you understand? Now the first start is terrorism. At the first place, if you go remove parliamentarians that they don't vote for, you understand? You remove them forcefully and put another one that you swear that in, and without and listen to the cases. That one you don't, you know, that's terrorism. You understand? Now they start everything and impose the Speaker of Parliament. You know, but all I'm saying the APC not say a word, then just pull down. You understand? Me and they talk about APC or SFP. I they talk about the welfare of the Sierra Leone people. You understand? Because if the country go bad, now we all suffer. No matter we did the hospitals, we did home, now we people they suffer. You know, we take the interest of the people, what people go there. But see, we they expect the word Mr. President where it come. In speech, what would they expect? I believe for can cool the tension of the country, unite the people, even hypocrites. Now that's it for them do. But it can't accuse even the leader of APC. You understand? When I is by Corona, including all to the own terrorism. You understand? Which is totally wrong. It's a wrong statement. You know, and this they drive investors, even investors, they drive them, even the Syrians, the way one go invest in that country, they don't invest nothing. Who don't they go suffer? Now we people along there, itself in government go suffer because money they go pay the workers them. That's one. Then two, the thing will happen na Tombo. You understand? Everybody they talk about Adebayo. But if you listen to the Minister of Fishing, what he talk, he said about them fishing. They get past how many on the boats there where they go fishing. I go say 15. You understand? That means and everybody don't go 3 days lockdown. So man, now 1,000 or 10,000 they get per day. You understand? For the survivability in family. If you don't go look at 3 days, how you able to survive? So man, like he stayed at 3 days down. Wait, come, you go see, you don't give about the way they demonstrate. It's all paid. You understand it? And it's not, let me say somebody, anything. That is not terrorism. This is demonstration. And one person, we're angry, you understand? It don't get nothing. It will go out of frustration. It happened in France. It happened in Germany. Then they burn Mochuka, burn shops them, and they burn banks them, do everything. The company they have ever classed themselves as terrorism. Because the people get the right. Only thing the company they listen, waiting and they demonstrate for. Then they call them, they talk and you don't know against this. No matter the discussion, we don't cause. Then they still they talk them. I like to not give them 100%. If not 20 or 30%, it's not what they make and gradually. So now good what they bring can good thing, but you need to try what class they say that this, they go past. Look the chairman, everybody within another background there, you understand? The police or they favor the government because you not go talk the truth because you go lost his job. The chairman no go talk the truth because he got lost in job. You understand that this is totally wrong. Let me look myself as Sierra Leonean. No matter if you lost your job, tell the people the truth. The truth they set you free. If you want to tell you the truth, if people that when they go support you, and if you lose job, they will support you. And they talk about Abu. Look Abu, the thing where he talk. This terrorism, now the same thing, not in the only cause. Now go to expose the especially the government every now and then. Anything to the plan, go to expose them. You understand? Now the government, President, you talk about terrorism. Look at why they go talk for fire people in Bikini. You understand? They go after in people. Now because of what you don't talk, look at the terrorists, everybody.
Thank you so much.
I want to address somebody quick. I want to make somebody when Kevin, I don't lost and just now. I don't think this is appropriate on this thing here. So terrorist attack on VOS soon. That is not good. That is not entertained here. That is not. We don't advocate that kind of statements there. Please, we know they accept that kind of statement there. You cannot say that Dande not danger thing where you make that statement there. I just want to caution you. Whoever make that statement, Kevin Bright, it's a terrorist attack. You cannot do that, please. I am very sorry. Well, they can, we will talk with differences, but we cannot make threats to people, their life or property. Because at this we cannot do that. We cannot do that, please. At the big, we cannot do that.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much, man. Next caller, who said the call for, please? What's your name, please? Next caller, who said the call from a which name, please?
The late for kitch boss. Yes, the road for go kitch the boat.
Go ahead, caller. What's your name? Who said the call?
Kitch run for go kitch the boat.
Okay, this person already ate. No,
go to the next caller. We have one more before continue. Next caller, what's the name? Who said the call from, please?
Yes, good evening, Mina Alaji Umar from Philadelphia.
Good evening and welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, for contributing to this program, I mean, listen, just now, the chairman for the SLPP presiding with me, the Toxi, they didn't give them chance for rule. So, but I become so amazed because why? We don't win election. Now, I get everything. the president, and get the presidency, and the president in wisdom will appoint the finance minister, appoint all the ministers in the for make sure say the economy will go before. Bank governor, everybody, and get there. And nobody knows say enough for appoint there. They get all the things because it need for let you succeed. So if you don't appoint all the things meaning enough for come and blame person because nobody know only. Now you say this person, like the finance minister, you believe him for channel the economy of the state. The bank governor, you believe him for channel the economy of the state. So if they come consistently about for say opposition, the block there, and people then forget able get sense for say which kind talk down and then go further. We are going to parliament now remove people that will be there in parliament already. We are install our own speaker. All the things they will all get. So why all the time when they can say they don't allow now? We don't do all the things we remove parliamentarians. We install a speaker. Nobody wants to know say the block president deal with the go na state house. So why didn't they say they are above there? Would I grab say let investor not come there? Now based on your policies, now they make investor come. Because now you hold everything, the judiciary, the police and the military, everything they now command. So they need for stop that for saying they are above there. Secondly, the issue about terrorism. The first thing where the government believes that they begin terrorism, that's where they send policemen in the parliament. That now terrorism against the young people there. Because the people in the opposition, but the young people there, they send policemen against them people there. That's one terrorism. Secondly, the other terrorism, when they send policemen in the opposition party, not to one thing, not to two things. Then terrorism against young people there. Because at the end of the day, he and the president of the country. Third, when recently, April 29, they go to Panema Road. The state security go and open fire to the people in it. So if the people in there, now people who are responsible. Now misplaced of justice make no more than they did. So much they didn't know for 3 days. They tell them don't go kill them. So that is not terrorism. So to them people in there, Mr. Kutubu get for answer all that in there. And the other thing also would be seen in France, where the French people in the yellow shirt, what in the what they call, they be born and other thing they don't call it terrorism. So why would they begin to call people in terrorists? What are the mistake? Nobody know say let them want something, but therefore put certain things in place for avoid all the things. So if we therefore be careful because the president don't say under terrorism, he can also say terrorism. We need to stop that. And look, the minister of the north for translate the president in talk we talk. They go talk for saying they can't kill people. I mean, I may go praise the president. They don't need for praise the president. The man they translate what the president say. Now he say they don't go kill people either.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, brother. Go to the last call, Fatima. Go to the last one, and then we can see how go. Okay. Caller, what's your name and who said the call from, please?
Hello, Mr. Kusubu and Auntie Fatima. I'm a concerned citizen.
Welcome.
A concerned citizen at a call from USA, Ohio. I just make some few points, Mr. Kusubu and Auntie Fatima.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Yeah. And I just want some of we will be objective. I just want some of we.
Tony, you set down and they give you that echo back. Yeah.
Hello. So the point where I make here, I don't watch from the day where the speech come. I don't listen over and over. I be objective. I know they talk for nobody. The accident where it happened, na Salone, the Panama was prison, the Lonsa, the Tumbo. There was an audio going around WhatsApp forum that somebody they come on Panama Road, it become president. There is an audio from Adebayo, it incite, it is something inciting messages in. Okay, the both parties they make mistake, but one thing where they say they address the both both parties. Opposition, APC na the strong opposition party na Salone. If somebody, a group of hooligans, they use message in una name, APC leader na then right for condemn that person immediately. This is not part of APC. This is not who we are. Salone is for everybody. Then the other clarification where I want to make, protest, any protest where you premeditate, say, I dey go burn the police station, I don't burn the police station, I dey go burn the chief in house, this one they don't pass mark. It's not protest. It's an act of terrorism. So in Madabio in speech, you not say the people that are terrorists, it said the act. It said the act for destroy state property. It's a terrorist act. So then Bobo then whatever they act now to you. Now a premeditation. You don't watch the video, they don't pass mark. We don't go to the police station, we don't go to the chief in house. When you premeditate, you do something. It's like a terrorist act. And the other thing what they say, Auntie Fadima, they will be so objective and honest here. If they youth then they don't say that Tombo incident, now so they say 15 votes, would they go to say pandemic? Let we reverse back to Ebola and Salone. Where they locked down for 14 days. Then we get that the country now waiting say, well, we all for join this pandemic. If they don't say 15 votes go, when I want to do protest, even though no protest, not the way it end up peaceful, but they got peaceful assembling. The youth for them assembling themselves peacefully without inciting, without premeditating violence. And so journalists then go there and seek what they protest for. But that was absolutely wrong. We don't burn the police station, we don't go burn the chief. It was premeditated. And those videos that they don't go around, nobody not condemn. Let them.
Okay, sorry, concern.
So back to you,
Professor, you don't hear waiting. The caller they don't say, they all don't talk. All man they game view because this is not the voice of Salone. We get for getting discussion here. If we get for move forward, first of all, we all not get for being on the same side. We all man get your own different view, but we go understand for try for go we safe kind of the middle. Then we try for understand what is going on, and we really we sister just now. Just say, let's be objective and let we say, he said, not premeditated because the people didn't talk. In a court of law, they get forget you your side and me own side, then the judge go judge. The judge, they tell Udana the truth. This is what waiting one side say. We're not really waiting the other side say. We hear one side. We don't know if it's the truth. It can be 50% they talk to, it can be 50% they lie. Because we know they 100% each grade for anybody in life. So, Professor, what you want to add Padande before we go to the other topic? What you want to add pan the conversation because it is a very sensitive word. The act of terrorism. That you display the act of terrorism, you perform the act of terrorism, you do terroristic what they call. Somebody writes, I don't remember the person, let's say. Vandalize. It was not terrorist act. I don't lost that particular what's in the concept. I don't lost but he say I don't lost anyway. It don't go. They go fast, so I don't lost the conversation they go on there. They say it was vandalism. The youth them vandalize the place. And then waiting and call not to terrorists. So what do you get for say before we go to the other?
Well, thank you very much again. Thank you to all the people who participating in the discussion. It is robust. I think what we mean again we were lucky enough for the social media. For now we stay away from this act of window dressing. Let we stay away from the act of try for example moral equivalence. Again, by God power, even as we progress to the discussion, I will continue for hold on to the arguments that we did. Say a person who uses unlawful violence and intimidation, unlawful violence and intimidation, obviously you don't fall in that category. All right. You don't commit the act. You don't commit the act because you resort to unlawful violence and intimidation. I think what thing I want we do, I think I mean ask you, I mean crave indulgence. Say we are going to talk about this every now and then. I mean, you don't have to say the fault finding, the finger pointing, this and that, the tit for tat and everything. But the fundamental question will be asked, where has this taken us to? That's the question I will be asked. You and I, every day they talk about investment, why we investors, why we need do this, why we need do that. You know what I mean? But then we ask them, how are we going to do all of these things that then lofty goals, their objectives, they are in a place where violence don't become the order of the day? This is not the question that we ask yourself. How are we going to do? When we accomplish it, the answer is no. So the question is, what do we do and how do we go? What do we do now? We try to look at exit strategy out of this quagmire. So we don't grip the nation. This and the logic of lawlessness. We don't become, the modus operandi of society. These are the only way they say, oh, now place of, thugs, place of hoodlums, a place of people that are these people. No. One girl said out of that, that kind of a nightmare, that kind of a trap. So maybe you say, what we will now use a good opportunity to get for dinner this year for begin see, waiting who will tell the politicians the way they know they see. And this happen because me and you didn't we live in a society where foremost that the rule of law everybody from the big part, from the president take candor, everybody subliminal. Nobody knows that, well, okay, this man at the president, no exempt, no. People are being held accountable. Waiting, maybe you say me and you now, or we already in our social media, with a positively they look at things and we say, okay, this is what people they do, and this is a holy country. Because I mean, they suffer. When something happen, they take money, send me other. Then you go do this. When something happen, they will call you. You don't let you don't go able to sleep. You get your commitment, and now you get this, but you still get for attend to the people because you don't go just ignore them like that. So now that nigga one actually, I'd rather prefer to spend more time seeing how we will come up with what we will suggest, how we go forward out of this nightmare or this box so don't find himself. So back to you now.
Okay. I believe say one of the problem we not remember the past, we not remember history, we not remember how did we get to that point where we not remember, we kind of not care. Well, politicians after politician they come, it's the same, 360, we're going in the same circle, we're not going anywhere, the same circle, we're not continue what they do. I get a video where I go one for let we show. But let we go to Kande Yunkela Yonsai. And now go to the international body. We already say, I think it was last Thursday, we had the international people, the European, the Americans, the people them way now we party them. Then come together, then say they want for talk, then bring everybody come together, let them come the way forward. And Dr. Kande Yunkela say want for bring truce between APC and SLVP. And I've been on Sidoya one time. We plead to President Bio throw out the olive branch. He threw out the olive branch. We see a picture. I always say, if we see this picture of President Bio and ex-President Koroma together, it will heal the country, we go heal. But then if the intentions behind the picture up are not real, if the intention, now for just take picture, let the world see you, but the intention of the man is not real, or the woman inside is not real, it's a lost cause. Because maybe me get good intention, your intention up here. We're not then at the same page. We can have our differences, but yet we can be on the same page, agree for disagree, and moving forward. So I call you, I say, Professor, you make this audio and it kind of troubling. Why don't you want us to meet with people then for lay if we're not able to solve the problem, because we don't use to forget all the Jama them for come help we solve the problem. We're not able to take care of ourselves. We don't know how to get along. Like Rodney King in California, where they go beat them, policemen they beat them. You know, it come the Black Americans then get the riots and burn places. What you got Nick King say in the end? Can we just all get along? So I want to understand, and maybe some other people and they out there we go want to understand. Say, well, Professor, why you get for say they're not for call, be not for go to the international community, we're able to take care of us. When we don't show time and time, so we're not able to take care of us.
Thank you very much. What you want to ask yourself, we actually, in the infinite wisdom, we actually believe, say, we have to govern ourselves. We have for the independence of other country. I mean, was it okay for us to ask for independence? More say yes, the answer is yes. We were right for who ask for independence, so we don't get her. Then we'll go to the next question. We don't ask for this independence, so we don't get her. How will they govern we self? We ask ourselves, how will they do? We don't get now just on friendly basis. I mean, they come in a party, well, okay, but that's how they go. You know, government will set on friendly basis. Well, we will get sort of guidelines in there. You know, we will, take care of how, we they move from point A to point B. Because one, even as we do the here, so one for the short say the contraction, the two will be together, the country, one we just say it get a foundation. We don't want to get a country where it build the air or na sansa table no want a foundation. Waiting at the foundation where they build like don't get a set of laws there. So I don't want to use the constitution. So then people will say, okay, they don't just get a set of things that we all agree on. Now, having laid that premise, the question is, why is it that we need other people then for come midwife things that where we know say if we actually honest enough and we lack the country, this is where the question of where is Salone inside this equation is exactly where is Salone. Waiting I don't see, I've been in a while that program, I lay out people they lack, but when they turn they say, oh, put you two. What I don't see, and I hope that you will support me on this. We don't so much invest in we parties and we leaders. We don't so much get wedded to the ideological orientations of that party there and we leaders. We don't so much transmogrify we leaders to this mythical God. They don't become what you call the be all and end all. We need to say then we can even go to the say then a utopia. And me say the only thing when a utopia, now God then a utopia. But anything else not a utopia. But we don't create that ambience. They say yes, we need to say that a utopia. We participated. So there's going to be they ever do mistakes. They beyond mistakes, so don't forget it. So I bring this dramatic example. For example, if you bring three people in there, you bring a party leader A there, party leader B there, they put God in the middle. To God and between this first point there. Because you also get wedded to the ideological orientation. People they will prefer for left God wedded in the middle, they go to leader A or leader B, or go to party A and go to party B. And worship it, genuflect before them. Enjoy this self-worship and vanity, they will left God. This then are the problem. When I say we left God here, we don't create a culture. That Salome, Salone don't mean anything. That the name of Salone don't mean anything. Because the way what they treat Salone, we attitude towards Salone, it don't clearly demonstrate say there is no Salone at the name no more. Because if we really get Salone at heart, most of the here where they happen, it's not supposed to happen. No, roll back. Elections have taken place. John like that, and me work they argue, and they put the argument. I kill for contrast, compare and contrast, and juxtapose them with something where I see. elections do have consequences. Elections have taken place. And as far as we know, elections took place in 2008. The citizens, by their votes, they will go and reaffirm in the faith of the validity of the sanctity of the ballot box by deciding whether they want. Whether the election was genuine or not, to me, that the academic is out of the question. What has happened? Somebody has been pronounced as a winner. Fine. Now, like you talk, say, as we talk, I read the talk or say, well, we'll get the thing, we need to get ourselves together. Fine, which is very fine. It's all I know. But the question, how long every day we get for meet together? Now, I want to be a bit fair to this administration also. Whilst I lay out their own problem also, but firstly I lay out the problem. The problem again starts when after the elections, how they went about, getting getting a majority in the parliament. We will eventually lead them to getting the speakership. The method used on the outside today, either by the way of how the courts do the thing, it goes to the government to solve. For example, I left for talk in history. 1968, after they don't return the country to civilian rule, waiting APC do, I'll credit them what they do. Here's what they do. They went to parliament. Everybody went to parliament, APC and SFPP. They waiting APC do. APC started going to court. Then they filed election petitions against every SFPP person. So they got rid of them from the parliament. But they not just sit down and go and block them. They don't block them. They went to parliament. They put their faith in the judicial system. Then they got them out of parliament. Okay, maybe they expect to say something like this. Let's even assume for the assumption that there are infractions of principles. Of course, we need it because they may not talk say before you run for office, if you don't resign. So and I believe say there are people who will be working up will not be done resign. But the argument here, the government or SFPP should not have been the police, the police, the judge, and the executioner, whatever you call it. What they should have done was to copy. But then again, here is waiting also again. They capitalize on when if he said they not they before just to say why them big past than the APC, if we recall again, either 07 or something, elections take place. So that then say pass a law say if there's infractions of principle, if they remove you common at parliament, you guys are not going to go back to what they call a by election because what they come up, we see by elections on the Salone. We see after election petition when they go back. So what they make it automatic. Most of you run for constituency. I mean, East one constituency something. Infractions take place. You go report me and say that's so to be look at this election. When they put me out, we know they go back to the voters. So there's no reference to the voters, no respect for the voters. Automatically, they can't sign. So again, they can say, what happen, Madam Fadima, if you give me 2-3 minutes again, let's tell you, we said bring the problem in a Salone. The problem in Salone that both parties they go back to SFPP in your problem before I come to APC the problem. You see this Republican bill in Salone, how Salone became a republic. That's not SFPP the idea. The only problem about SFPP, they're not in the power too long, or when and what the APC do, they want to court for block them. And I can give you one thing about APC, where I can say a good but also full of irony. When APC they in opposition, they're very good at making use of the court. They believe in the court system. I must say that will give credit. Now the court system that APC use, so when they go back to history, in 1960, whatever 7 days ago, 9 men they block SFPP, they don't even come up with a Republican bill. The one-party system also, I will go back to history for tell anybody it was an SFPP idea. Chief by Baron, I can't think of parliament. In fact, the Republican bill now, Michael Callum, but Macaulay as Attorney General is Albert, and you're free. Now they crafted legislation, but SFPP APC was very smart enough for get the courts and good lawyers involved, they block them. And they go again for the one-party system when the SFPP can go in, but they block them. But by irony and contradiction, this same APC will be blocked all the time when in the Canada Parliament they adopt all. So in order also to talk how the problem in Salone, first now SFPP they plant the seed. Then what the APC do, then they harvest them, you know, to overdrive the plan. So this is what they talk about the problem with playing at parliament. Now APC now come up with that say when they pull you come out because some SFP people they suffer that in 07, elections is not going to take place. Automatically that man will lay complaint whether they now it will take your place. So this 9 APC, I don't hear you they talk about tonagi, whatever it is. These are the problem this where everybody they turn the debt, everybody turn the debt. And until we move away from that, say, you know what, all right, me they be the tall man I also. If you don't do this, but me they be the tall man, I take the high road, I not going to do this. But as long as you have the what you don't do me, so I'm going to tell you this. More, no matter how this government they in power, President Biden they in power, more just even come up with say they up to 5, 10 years, 18 years. When they go back, as long as that they same law that the other guys coming are going to follow the same laws the way they did, then what's going to happen? SFPP also is going to start complaining. But forget it, say when they say this law, they follow. So the other guys will say, well, we say this law we follow. So for wrap up this year, now 2 ways to get out of this quagmire. So, and like I said, for who answer your question, say why I was proposed to the international community. The international community cannot be the midwife in with domestic and foreign policy. I'm totally opposed to that. I don't know how to broadcast, and I openly talk at that. I totally, because they undermine the sovereignty of a nation, the independence of a nation. If the nation will not able to do nothing, will not fit for get independence, will not able to micromanage that. The international community, when they get out there, they solve it. When America get a problem, America not they call for international community. They also because they get a document when they call the constitution, and they get for rely on. Now, in the ethical foundation, a moral compass, we underline this nation as the only thing we hold this nation, not to the White House, not to that cow, the president guy, not to Air Force One. That law when they sign that na Philadelphia, when they all adopt, if we all decide for submit under the dictates of the rule of law, most of them probably will go away. But as long as we cherry pick a lemon drop, we are going to be faced with the dilemma. Back to you.
Okay, number one, the president's this administration promised new direction. So why do we have to go to the old one? If you promise new direction, that means say I cannot do the things of the past. I get for doing right, I get for do according to the constitution, and I get for meeting a call. So now that day I want to ask you, you know, if you have promised, like you say, they know they do what's in a call. But if somebody has promised, say I will do right, we have to do it right. That's one of the other problems that you link out. But then you say, okay, the international body, we don't need them. But you have Israel and Palestine for how many years now? Take the international body, they try for bring peace, for letting them come together. They're able to solve the problem among themselves. Then we have one of our own, when I can the Yunkela, we can say, okay, and they try for build cohesion, and then you can't say back, you feel say it genuine with it depend intentions are not pure. So what's the easy why make you talk that name? Because you say the international law for come, then we get one of we own, then we say, then we not trust we say. If we not trust we say, then we always they call for international investigation, international people for come, because we not trust we say. And we get one of one, but yet you say what's in a call. So I go explain that, Nisa.
Thank you. When you be the talk earlier, you talk you know you do what genuine, but you talk something where
intention.
You see, your intention is one thing for make pious declaration. Mm-hmm. It is one thing for appeal to the calculus of people the way you want money or play to the gallery. It's one thing. I mean, then my friends them na NGC, they don't write all kind of letter attack me and there. But what they do, they don't look at the bigger picture. For example, you will recall Dr. Kade Yunkela referring to a democratically elected government as a junta democracy. You recall that statement?
Yes. Now, when they go attack on a parliament.
Good. It's a junta democracy, not so. Mm-hmm. I can tell you for sure. Part of this problem we see the other color so people they pick up and they want and part of the tier you see the way they color this also in the factor into that. That what alone, junta democracy alone, in the factor into this. So if you don't already see them, you don't delegitimize, a leader. You don't call her a junta leader. You don't do this. You don't talk them what they did. I mean, come on, let's be honest enough. How are we going to say what they go do you sincere? How are we going to say not to the public gallery you want to go play to? How will we know of that not tonight they go do? You don't already delegitimize the thing. You don't delegitimize the government.
Yes, so then how back we not gonna say it really pure because sometimes don't make me say, okay, we don't talk that one day because of the behavior we then do to, and now we they talk of words just now, we they talk of this how they call the word against terrorism. So maybe the behavior of the way we then do, the way they hijack everything, and I make it use that English language there. And then now, how we gonna know if you not been genuine? So tell okay, say I be don't make something before. Then now I want for I be don't see and one way we can change back to the other. We say yeah, now I understand. Let we try for make it because this is the good of the whole, and itself not part of the voice of the opposition. No matter how small people can be.
Look, we don't ask the fundamental question. No, I will say, has Dr. Yunkela ever stood out anywhere where I don't know also there are a lot of things where women don't know. Where either you don't actually meet the press, you don't meet journalists. You say, look, he actually take he bemoan the decadence and escapism we don't take firm hold inside the governance of Salone and openly call on everybody for disease, for violence. You know of that, so he will educate me on that. When you don't enough, open the whole CM, when it address a gathering, either not necessarily inside parliament. Say he called the press, when he was, look, you guys are even at one of them session. The topic actually was the state of violence inside the country where he actually addressed them. I don't know if you know. I know they say he not do or you don't know, but me not a witness to that. I don't know.
I think they been pull press release one of the MGC been pull press release one of the elections incidents. Then they do that. Then they pull press.
Well, me not see this, but okay. In furtherance of the argument presentation is this. Why is waiting at the necessity of him say in the trial for being two leaders waiting that vote for accomplished where the president not already done what? Has the president not called for a meeting, a bitumani, he not call a meeting?
Yeah, it didn't work out. He called, but the temps are not called.
No, he called. So when I guarantee, say, okay, when they not going to a guardian, if when the guarantee will say, well, if he call, then go. You go when the guarantee will get. The thing is that the sincerity, I make a problem with. I have a problem with that.
Okay, I mean, there's no guarantee, but it's good to try because the state of the country now, it's this say that say everybody they point finger point people and they call people their name, who say they not even get evidence, and we see where then they arrest people that we hear Attila. Like I say, I call Attila today. I was like, how can you put such statements out? You calling people's name, you calling their houses, you say that they can click. Honorable men and women them, where I can bet me life for some of the name the way call say that is not true about that person. I can bet me life for some of the name the way call. I don't know the other people them. But you name the name, you say then get click, you don't get information. Informants, they don't tell you. People, they don't tell you, say, so let call let the people and go yonder, let them go to this house, let them go to that house. All that they are inciting violence where we not get through. We not get through because I asked somebody today, I say, I want to use a word from God in word, waiting God say, waiting God warn we off. Waiting God warn we off when we hear something or when we vex, we get for be slow to anger. And if they can't tell you something, you get for verify them. And Attila no say the tension in Freetown right now, most of them policemen they know they ask questions. Because when he go to the yes, the way get for go, others from the above come. The police, then they go rough people them, then they go intimidate people them, then they go harass people them, then they go molest people them, because one stuff don't come from somebody we say, then tell and say. And like I said, we know they remember. Because them then say thing then they sometimes, when you go back, they then say not even all water. We can remember during the war and after the war, where during the war, when the war been there, the first rebel will come, the second rebel where they enter Freetown. We see a lot of devastation when they do, and we community them, we tongue them, we village them. We see innocent people them. Somebody, because they not let you on and get problem, and they point you say, you not rebel, then go then burn you, then kill you. Or you go point to the rebel, they say, you not this, then go then kill you. Those are dangerous, and we know they think. That's what I told him today. And he said at the lecture, and so he hung up the phone for me. If me want for listen to her, let me listen to her, but me no just can't lecture him. And this is the conversation I was trying to get with him. That it is dangerous for put out such audio, naming people, calling addresses, talking about this is what they do, that day in Ostayanda, una go there, una go make so, una go make so. That is all the matches them when we as citizens are striking. I mean, oh yeah. Oh God. Anyway. We set ourselves up for failure. We are setting ourselves up for failure. We are setting ourselves up for failure. And we pray, let God have mercy. But how long can we pray, let God have mercy? How long can me they do the right thing in religion? I get fear of God. I get this, I get that, I get all that kind of stuff. Then the other person, you know, they play fear to me. How long will my back be against the wall before I act out to that side where no one reach? That is the danger. That is the stage we are setting. Those are the plans. The way they plant, what we see them, we they do, we people them, we they do. So, I don't know. You know, go ahead, you know, with your conversation. I just
thank you so much, ma'am. No, it's very adequate. Thank you so much. My wife, we get your thoughts together. Then I just told this thing. Again, all of these problems will take place also. I mean, one part of a system of governance, one branch also, we will say it share the climate of blame for this problem also. Then at the parliament, and they go back. Now we see President Bio go ask for state of emergency. So because for this problem, of course, when he go there, he just stay there which he wants. Then we see he get one year. But the parliament failed to understand, say, passing laws in that the only job that we didn't get. 1 minute expressly they will call the Attorney General, when I'm the Chief Law Enforcement Officer, when I'm in charge of the Constitution for the government and the for put a lot of things then in place inside that emergency for put a lot of provisions we actually border on the constitutional liberties then. Because in a state of emergency, everything is suspended, even habeas corpus. You don't go get up, meaning that they go lock you up. Like that, you don't go get it because to habeas corpus for kind of court for let them know you cannot. And which views in other words, all they give up on her rights for one individual, the individual becomes the legislator, it becomes the parliament, it becomes the executor or executive, it becomes the court. Now, he alone they decide, he alone one man. You go express it in a situation like that where, people they're so irrational in the use of power. They're so excessive in the use of power, grabbing power. The parliament before sit down with the attorney general when they represent the president. Okay, yeah, we get corona with the body fight, but within the constraints of passing it, we also get for take into account constitutional liberties, the citizens' liberties. So these are the things that we want for let the inside this. And in fact, we not will even give you 1 year. For now, we will give about 3 months. They did nothing of that. Nothing of that. They give them out to call carte blanche. And the same parliamentarian and the gap again, they begin to sit on the question the other corner. Well, we will not agree, say they will come back. You think Mr. Bio is that other corner for go back? You've already given the man what the man is gone. And what you do, you the parliamentarian, if you don't write, they don't give. Now they decide for you when you go come out now free for going to prepare, then they tell you that. You should have long seen it. So the parliament also get they are complicit in the bad governance organ at Salone. They are part and parcel of it. Yes, President Bio is the executor, the executive man, but the parliament also, when they see the lackadaisical approach panel, when they see the attitude of benign neglect on the part, all the interest in how they say will get money. Now the same parliament go vote for raise the pay, for do this, for do that, but the welfare and well-being of the citizens have been totally neglected. So why would the whole President Bio accountable for whatever we see whether infractions of principles we bother on the fundamental human rights? Then we also hold the parliament saying that they give paradoxical comfort and solace because they don't neglect what they're supposed to do. Because it's strong parliament. We then after the way the parliament tell President something and no give no money for labor work until on a plane. The parliament, even money when the president they use, who say get parliaments of people that we know what's in the part, they get what it take for be legislators. President Bio no go use penny by the states in the nation in money where they not get the approval. Or who say don't ever say parliament not call the Minister of Finance or bank governor for that. Okay, the president will not they travel but once that expenditure day, once this expenditure, let's see. Now every now and then they question Air Force One. The parliament they question how much Air Force One don't travel and the bill on the taxpayers. The bill on the taxpayers and then they question now. Because Air Force One no they go in and out, They want to say then right when the president they ride their plane and that will get for the beneficiary to you. So we go also begin to turn the compass or we MPs them. Not begin it because they are receiving monies and they are not working for it. So that also a part of corruption and they receive money, they justify them. You get all the huge expenditure, they work money. So this also a part of the problem. They do not just hold the executive no more like that. The executive don't become a runaway executive thanks to a parliament where we don't neglect the constitutional responsibilities. So if Nami says I want power, then you want to wait for hold me and I call it another. I will go for use any kind of power where I want. When they don't call the Attorney General for hearing in a parliament, you know hear that? When have they called the Governor Bank of Salone? What they happen? How will money don't go down to this kind of we do not go through. What thing you they do about this? That they your job there for investigations and hearings. That's what they're there for. But they don't do these things. So this is a part of the problem what they get again that with legislatures themselves are not helping. If anything, then a part of the problem. Back to you, ma'am.
Oh, in all, we all, every branch get your role for play. And you talk about the 1 year thing. I asked the question to you again. I think I asked you the other day. Can the parliament call back that state of emergency we put out there? That 1 year state of emergency. Can is there because with the talk of certain power where you say the constitution is suspended under a state of emergency, that means say me and you not cover under the constitution of Sierra Leone. We they at the mercy of the people the way they rule and sit on power rights now. So I don't understand because I will get for ask again. I can ask you if you can explain quick.
Every department now says now they will only come with the approval of the president. Not only now Ingo get for how they call them for the thing be open because remember they already don't give up. What they do? They not put the cart before the horse Now this don't happen.
Talk about that.
So because of that, now for let they act now, it will be difficult because they're not able to get that because already we the president there with the honor imagine so everything now he alone will do it for now. So it take it's going to let God help we when he 1 year done when they give waiting we need for do now, the common sense will prevail over opportunistic calculations when they go back. So okay, Mr. President, we give 1 year, no, we know they give one. Now, if in fact, in for justify, why therefore even renew them, why therefore renew the state of emergency? If you not come up with a satisfactory answer, where everybody will say, yes, this way the president talk about that, a genuine and all then waiting will happen. In the meantime, we'll get 3 calls. Hopefully, after the 3 calls,
now take the caller, then they'll go on the last topic. Go to the caller, what's your name? Who's the call from?
Only 3 calls from one out take now.
Take the call then, Professor.
Caller, good evening. What's your name? Who's the call for? Please say what you get for add to this.
Concerned citizen.
Yes, sir.
And there are certain things I listen on a debate, right? And Brother Kutubu, like you say, we get for a way for unite this country because it's so heartrending for me today out overseas with the see what happen in Salone, you know. And again, Mr. Adima, we talk about terrorism. If you remember, Timothy McVeigh, now Oklahoma, that was a terrorism act the government charged them for. Just like putting up that Tumbo. If you watch the videotape, you will see the body and they say, today, would they burn your heart today? Yeah, would they kill everybody in here today? That's a really, really premeditated terrorism act. Okay? And the other thing is, again, how would they move we country go before? Yes, we know say when the president come out, he can find investors them. If you get 10 billionaires, if you able to convince the mind for go open different things than a salon, now a job creation. But we the people them, we the abroad, we will placard, they go tell investors and say, una no go do, una no can do, na this una go do, na that, the country not stable. Okay? Even me born a Sierra Leonean, I get me money. I know me say no one make me money go because we get unstable government, right? And nobody now wasting money, you know. So there is a way we say we the people of Sierra Leone, we say for blame by a lot of things. Then, if we want to be the same party, we want to be the same people. But when it comes to the country, let's say Sierra Leone first, not party first, right? Like John Kennedy said, what can you do for your country? It's not what your country can do for you, right? So, and the other thing I think, say we face backward, education. Education on poor with total, them poor education totally in the country. So now it left with them youths, them. People don't go call them all kind of name. But if we're able to develop something, like when we grow up, we get, you mentioned this now, Naxi, Dokiak. I forget how they call it again. They get technical institute, right? Not everybody need come for land book. Like you mentioned, somebody put in Peking as a plumber. They go land plumbing job. That means we have institutions for help people them. But this thing of when election come, at the time they know the youth them go give them small money, give them little drugs, and they know they think rationally, right? And we were the oversee, we just said they support them. Say, yes, una go Bonyanda, una go do this. Which is totally wrong. It happens if you get the love for your country. Completely wrong. Okay. Thank you. May God bless you.
Thank you.
We take the second to last question. We've got 2 more callers and that's it. Okay. Our next caller, who said the call from, please, what's your name? Next caller, please.
Yes, good evening. This is Nabendu from Kansas City.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening.
Happy Mother's Day to you.
Also, I tell you plenty thank you. But me call tonight, I just believe say the two presidents they on parallel lines with a lot of baggage. But needless to say, we go still advocate say if we get any resources, whether inside the country or outside the country, we just use them. I mean, I don't feel say it will be any harm. Just giving peace a chance. Another thing we may feel say go for be a problem. Nana lay ask for lay President Bio do whatever he go do for lay he reach out to the youth them because the youth they make a very big part of the population. Let him do something for them for make them useful now society, or else then therefore be a problem. Now their own problem. If Mother Bio win again next year, it will be a problem. But sooner or later, when Mother Bio come out, it will be somebody else's problem. So for now, we go pray and hope for they engage the youth them and do something for them, for elevate them and do whatever he can for let them be a productive part of the society. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Atibedu, and happy Mother's Day to you. Now.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. The last caller for tonight, please. We'll sign the call form and we'll see your name. Last caller for tonight. Last caller for tonight. What's your name?
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah, this is Nakadi. I have an input. Don't say what the whole. It's so disheartening for listening to VOS, and I have to tell you, we agree for disagree in respect. Mr. Kutubu, you guys are part of this thing. You they sit down at that platform, they time after time, people and they sit down and they listen to you. All of they point finger, terrorists. Words matter. Words do matter. The youth are doing destructive things in the nation. It needs to be addressed. But if they endorse, say, oh, it's terrorists, words matter. Tomorrow, I hope if anything goes wrong, where other countries then begin put sanction on Sierra Leone because of terrorist word, where they go on freedom, we'll go all accountable for that. And also, they talk to people and they point people in him. You too, they do that, Mr. Kutubu. They sit down at that platform, now all they go and label people them. They talk about words. The president, the people them, now the FLPP, the APC, they are all guilty. Lima is guilty. Awata is guilty. Adebayo was guilty. All of them are guilty. Even the man we talk this, we're going to that hospital where they do the rounds. They are all guilty. People need to mind the words. Words matter. Words matter. The president needs to stand up, rule the government, rule the nation. It's Sierra Leone. It's not Pujewu, not Obo, not Kenema, not Makeni. It's Sierra Leone. One party. One nation, Sierra Leone. But this thing where they go on, then they point finger, like what that caller say. What are you people doing? What are Sierra Leone doing for the youth? Get trade. So they go get involved. Those boys in Tombo, some of them are 20. They are doing fishing. That's all they depend on. So what matter? In Allah, let Mr. Kutubu, you are inciting to you have words where you serve the altar on that platform day. Trust me, it's not right. You have your right for freedom of speech. People have rights for freedom of speech. Where is the freedom of speech in Africa, in Sierra Leone? Where people and talk, they arrest them. Where is the freedom of speech? Where the first lady don't sit on a TV, don't make record say mob justice. What matter? What matter? So in a law we talk the truth. Lord, we pray for this nation. Lord, we move forward. In a way, na sit down at that platform, whether you get away for contact the president, let them rule the nation, Sierra Leone. Let them petty foolish. Look at Pademba, where they go kill people innocent picking. What to make the president not address that? In a all sit down at that platform. What are you saying about that, Mr. Kutubu? About innocent life that was taken at Pademba Road for nothing because of damn stupid politics? That's my own.
Thank you so much. God bless you, and God bless all the participants. This night, like always, Fadima can say, the voice matters. everybody voice matter. We're glad you all come. I mean, we go always agree for disagree, but at the end of the day, we all are the same wall. Remember Salone, let Salone go before we don't get tired of any problem. Also, we pray God common sense will prevail over opportunistic calculations on the part of the politicians that they move away from slogan and put the country before. That's the only way this, chat the way forward. Like we last daily talk here, the youth them, we resources in that. These are the next generation of leaders them. The politicians therefore pay attention to them. Not only bring their way election car, we give them 2-3 loans, they do this after the election, we dump them, it's not good. And now we learn for handle matters in such a way that we say now will take control over our own destiny. That's it. Like you said, by God power, they investigate the Panemba road. It's a loss of lives everywhere. Anybody who had a call not to put in that anyhow you look up. And I want to assure you, we now viewers now will not support any loss of life. We not support that. The only thing we know can begin to make assertive statement there by God power. We will believe say independent-minded people that we get what in fear will come up with. I mean, a real factor which really happen. When we really know would that do what, should that be do what, would that how this happen? By God power, at the point that we go to. But in the meantime, of course, we all know, like, I mean, we know the lives that we lost, I should say, we just not like anybody. So again, that finally thank you for coming.
Let me not end yet. I want to talk about this.
No, I want to hand over to you, man.
Oh, I feel say you want to end. Let me take another 10 minutes. We go be okay. We go be fine.
We're fine. No problem.
We need another 10 minutes. I get for address this matter.
Oh, no problem. Where?
Yeah. Technical team. I want to put the video. I get a video and an audio. I get the audio of the gentleman, Mr. Sheriff, Honorable Sheriff Keru, in last words, in accusation where they accuse him of and the word where he talk. And then I want to show the video. It's a quick few seconds video they will show you. Let me show, then let us talk on this issue a little bit. Because this is dangerous. We don't know what's in kill we brother. We don't know what's in kill him. But we know say Puelat can kill person. Shame can kill person. Disgrace can kill person, even if you're innocent. I like the court say find you say you're not guilty. People and they will don't form opinion about you. And I want just handle that a little bit, please. I want to handle that a little bit. I want to put them video then they up. Let we put the video. Let we put the audio. And then let we just wrap up with that the one in the place.
Good afternoon, people. Me now Honorable Sheriff Keru. I come this afternoon for respond to an audio where they make the social media rounds. Where they claim say me a member of a clique or a leader of a clique. I want to first of all point out say I don't ever be a member of a clique, neither a leader. I don't ever condone anybody for be part of that. This news will go around a blatant lie and for discredit me character and me name. And in that so regard, the so-called SLPP member where they make this allegation within the diaspora and say na so na lie, they lie. You don't know nothing about me. I don't ever come across, I neither come across anybody who they claim for say for be part of this. One thing I make clear, say I don't ever in my life be a member of any clique organization or whatsoever. So in that regard, I call on the security apparatus, the IG, the AIG, the Minister of Internal Affairs, and the ONS for let them all put on deck. I call on all the security apparatus for let them investigate this matter thoroughly in some patriotic Sierra Leoneans so they can clear my name, because for as of right now, because of this way this guy don't portray me, they don't put me life at risk for me and my family. So I make him once again clear, say he's a liar, he know nothing about me, and never have I been part of any clique organization. Once again, Mina Honorable Sheriff Kiru, stay blessed and keep safe. Let God bless you all. Ramadan Mubarak.
The other one is very. Not two are saying the other one, okay. This is after the funeral, because they go back and a young man died today with the Beram. Many other lives, there are many other people that don't die because somebody decided to make an audio where not to true. Then call them in. You know, we all know how Salone people, they wouldn't call you, where police call you in, how then they do you, waiting that they do you, how then they molest you, abuse you, torture you, whatever they do, I don't know. I wasn't there. But what I know is he was released, and then a couple of days later, they don't bear on today. And that was the crowd. Like I said, the social distancing, I was worried. But then there's time in life.
Good afternoon, my people. Mina Honorable Sheriff Kiru. I come this afternoon for respond to an audio where they make the social media rounds, where they claim say me a member of a clique or a leader of a clique. I want for first of all point out say I don't ever be a member of a clique, neither a leader. I don't ever condone anybody for be part of that. This news where they go around a blatant lie and for discredit me character and me name. And in that so regards, the so-called SLPP member where they make this allegation within the diaspora and say na so na lie it a lie. You know nothing about me. I don't ever come across, I neither come across anybody where it claim for say for be part of this. One thing what they make clear, say I don't ever in my life be a member of any clique organization or whatsoever. So in that regards, I call on the security apparatus, the IG, the AIG, the Minister of Internal Affairs, and the ONS for let them all put on deck. I call on all the security apparatus for let them investigate this matter thoroughly. Since I'm a patriotic Sierra Leonean, so they can clear my name, because for as of right now, because of this way this guy don't portray me, he don't put my life at risk for me and my family. So I make him once again clear, say he's a liar, he know nothing about me, and never have I been part of any clique organization. Once again, my Honorable Sheriff Kiru, stay blessed and keep safe. Let God bless we all. Ramadan Mubarak.
And like I say, I call Attila today. I say, Attila, we don't bear a brother today. We don't bear with brother today, with family today, with papa today, because he left two picking them. And many other people, then because of them think the world, they say this, we don't get reliable source this, where we're not sure, we're not factual, but yet we, as soon as we phone them, we push record, and then we push send, we have no control over it again. They destroy lives, we destroy lives. And now there's another audio going out there, I don't have it on me, where Attila tell and say, now this man don't die because of what we did do, because of we irresponsible behavior, because of revenge, because of hate, because of anger, because of whatever reason, because of. And another video, audio we put out there, I know say in name Usman Timbo, I know say in name calling him a failed politician, I know say in name one we brother Nafobe Wenen Kainasiu, and he get other name there, he puts the address them, who side them for go, who side them for make, who side them for all them things, then they the same way when they lie, but this we brother say he get click, he join click, and they make click for let them go overthrow, and that is dangerous. Me people, them who they go, who they head, with the lights, the matches, they throw at the fire, you go take one where we go ablaze and go boom. That is the danger of what we do. God say if somebody can tell you something, if an evil person or angry person can tell you something, take them for act. Go find out the true force before you act. And we don't have that logic, because when somebody can tell we ego kicking, we this kicking, we that kicking, we everything kicking, we begin destroy one another. We begin destroying one another. It is scary. We all get for being responsible. We all get for being responsible to they say and what they do. Because if we talk for let we all day together, in as much as we have our differences, we will all not be in the same, or we all not think the same. It's not possible. Because even twins that are born of the same mother, identical twins, they get a different way of looking at life, perception, because of your experiences of life and your stuff. You can born that one was the same belly where they born lawyer and they born thief man, the same belly, the same woman. So we have to be careful. We get for stop them here. We people them, we set one another against one another. We have so many hates. So many hates, we are tearing ourselves apart. Like I said the last week, the fabric, it don't draw the bead, the gap is getting wider and wider. And how can we heal? How can we heal from these things? If there's no justice, if there's not the scale is not balanced, unity, freedom, and justice for all, we will not have peace, because it comes with justice, it comes with unity. We get for make what is right for one is right for the other. And we're sitting there, we're playing government, we're playing house, we're playing with a joke, with lives and properties of people. People are dying, people are hungry, the system is rotting. We not even pay attention for fix them. We just point the finger at one another. Now you do this first, now you make a do. I go turn and give you because of all waiting. And I can always say, this to President Bill: do not make the mistake of President Bush, baby Bush. Baby Bush listened to the people, the voices of revenge. When Cheney and Rumsfeld and the other one them, because they don't get an old agenda, they come back and make up, say they get weapons of mass destruction. When they go there was no weapon of mass destruction. 18 years later, 2002, the first bomb was dropped. 18 years later, we have so many PTSDs, so many crazy people, so many lives lost, so many amputees, so many things. The way they happen to we always they and they want the way presently they for the next 100 years America get for 50 years. Let me say 50 because sometimes the youngest one they go live till 50 years. America get for pay for this. The people of Afghanistan, nobody wins in them country and nobody know they win. Every blood we drop, it is a valuable drop. We can't afford to waste it because we are not God. We're playing God. We're playing God. We're playing God. We are not God. Now, Corona lock we all done so. You know how many plan? Like by now, all the area, them party, married, pulnado, this, that, baby shower, all kinds of, we all don't plan. Who don't want to go vacation, who don't want to go here, who don't want to go free. We all sit on at one place because God Almighty, in a plan your own, we they make we own decision, we they make we own plan, but God is the judge of everything. And the third law of motion, whatever we wish on somebody, it is going to come back to us. We're going to have equal or opposite reaction. It's coming. Let we remember that as human beings. Before we all that record and push send, let we remember, say, what will this do to the next person? There's a way to talk, even if you don't talk the truth, there's a way to say it. Me na Martin Luther King in style I get. Some people get Malcolm X style. So each its own. But the mission is Sierra Leone. Let we focus. The mission is Sierra Leone. The mission is Sierra Leone. If somebody they do something for Salone, sometimes you not be able to do it. If you're not able to do it, support Saleh do it. Support Saleh do it. The mission is Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone get for rise. Sierra Leone get for come back because we're all stuck in this country. We're all the diaspora. And thank God for diaspora, we're able to feed with people there. Thank God for the diaspora, for the country there, what we call second home. We country there, we just go number 360 degrees. We just they make me are they beg to the sitting government. Are they plea in the name of God? Let we get afraid. Let we think before we do. Let we not just react just because for flex with muscle or for show with strength. Because power, we get them, but all the power belongs to God. Then we be careful. I'm not going to say nothing again. We don't come to the end. I left on go down. The mission is Sierra Leone, my people. Let us look in the mirror. Let us take self-reflection, self-inventory of ourselves. Let us get that forgiving spirit. Let us help to let go. Because if we hold on to it, it's not only going to destroy the next person, it destroy us too. High blood pressure, diabetes. All the other sickness. People are there fighting for their life right now. We are fighting for little things. Not to discredit anybody in feeling, because everybody in stuff where they see in feeling and pain important, no matter how little. Not to discredit it. Because everybody, we cannot be dismissive of people and feeling and then pain and then cry. We cannot be dismissive of it. But at the same time, for the good of the whole, sometimes we get for let's go, get for look the other way. We get for look the other way. For the sake of peace, we get for look the other way. Not to all time, we get for do tit for tat. Sometimes we get for look the other way. So till next time, like I always say, go beyond beautiful, go beyond you. Alefuna na Gordon. Coronavirus day now. If you do you do all waiting and say, you dey do for save me life. Myself, what do all waiting and say, wash me hand frequently, cough under your hand or you use tissue, make social distancing. What you dey gonna do? Me, I dey wear mask. The choice is yours. But I think say better for wear mask. No, we go to drink with country medicine them. No, go to drink with Lily Bamba them, or Lily Roots them. Let we go back. Let we value what we get. Let we go back to what two people let me they do. Then thing that they preserve with body. They build up the immune system. Everything gets what they do inside it. With people they're not being full. Some they're not being go school, but they're not stupid. They're wise. So now let we go back to some of them things then they. Now let we go back to the spirit of 1961. So till next time, today my body broke. I'm not able to talk. I don't get energy safe for talk too much. I don't get energy for talk too much. But all we they say, we they pray, may God have mercy. May God soften the hearts of the leaders. May the Spirit of God go inside them, give them wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and a sound mind for make judgments. May God visit them one by one, the one the way they make decision and the one they let them experience, because it is one thing for be a Christian or Muslim. It's another thing for experience God for you self and the Spirit of God for you, where you get fear for you countryman, where you be your brother's keeper, your sister's keeper. I not preach today, lefuna na God. I love you all. And remember, God is love. Go beyond beautiful, go beyond you. If the sun, the shine permit today, not jealous me, go walk on your own. Tomorrow, the cloud go over me, the Sunday pray. To next week, I say, we all then God on. I pray for all day. Let God keep we, let God preserve we. They want the way they mourn among we. Let God comfort them. Let God give them. They want the way they fast. Let God go now the blessing of Ramadan. Let God make peace reign in our country. Let God make we leader them be able to be fear. So I love you all. Remember, God is love. Professor, I don't know if you get anything for say, sir. Thank you. I'm out, Fadima.
Until next Sunday, good night to everybody.
The sick, fear has grieved the heart of each inhabitant over the virus. Thousands of lives have been lost. Graveyard is full of competent, talented figures. We are all lost. We don't know what to do to get the cure that see us through. Others are crying, see their children dying. But all is not lost. God, we put our trust in you. We are saying to you, COVID-19, you cannot defeat us. Heal the world, heal the world. Jehovah, we losing too many souls. Heal the world, heal the world. Your Allah is getting out of control. Your love, save your people. people, save the world. Wash your hands regular, abstain from being a minguler. Accept isolation until there is solution. Avoid public gathering, let's keep it from spreading. Oh my people, let's take precautions. It's time to wage war against every virus or any outbreak affecting our lives. We are stronger with God, we are mightier, Yahweh. We are warriors.